happening right now. It's all happening right now. Well, reach deep inside, free your mind from the bonds of time. Right now, this is your destiny. All you see, yeah, it was meant to be. Ooh, right now, give it all you got to give. Just live, this is all there is. Right here, right now. From the sky to the ground, all around life is going down. Right here, right now. Say, it's all happening right now. 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 If you think about tomorrow, so no. Yeah, if you think about your yesterday, you're filled with regret. If you think about tomorrow, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you think, just stop.
There's that Ken Jackson, yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Keep going.
Free your mind from the not now. Let yourself go. Stomp your feet, clap your hands, make some noise. Free your mind from the not now. Let yourself go. Stop your feet, clap your hands, make some noise. Sing this. Do the dance of joy. Sing. The dance of joy. Say, it's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. It's all happening right now. It's all happening right now.
Maestro. Please join me in prayer. We are grateful to be here on this second week of March, celebrating the one perfect life that permeates all creation, the life that is God, the life that belongs to each and every one within the sound of my voice today. And what we know is that this power is perfect, whole, and complete in form and substance. All that God is, each and every one of us are in the unique, individualized expression of that power. And I give thanks for this opportunity to come and celebrate the abundance of this creation, this ever-abundant universe that we live in. And I give thanks for all of the teachings and this way of living in science of mind that empowers me to focus on that good and to recognize that good at the very core of my being, expressing out in all of creation, everywhere, all the time. I give thanks for this wonderful music we get to celebrate, for our technology, for our hospitality team, for our ushers, for our practitioners, for everyone in this space who's come to celebrate with us. And for everyone who will hear this message today, I know that Spirit will speak through Reverend Dr. Goldberg today. And each and every person that hears this message will be re-energized, recommitted, and will find that they hear what it is that they need this day to remember that they are unique and divine in every way. I give thanks for each and every beautiful expression of the divine in this space today. And everyone in this world, all of us, as children of the one life who are all connected, I give thanks for that divinity and connection. and release these words into the divine law that knows how to mold, make, shape, and create all the good there is, everywhere, all the time, without ceasing. And that good is right here and right now. And so it is. Our first words of inspiration today come from Pema Chodron. The second quality we developed in meditation is clear seeing. This is similar to steadfastness. Sometimes it's called awareness. Through meditation, we develop the ability to catch ourselves when we're spinning off, hardening to circumstances and people, or somehow closing to life. Our second set comes from Esther and Jerry Hicks. Every thought, every idea, every being, everything is vibrational. So when you focus your attention on something, even for a short period of time, the vibration of your being begins to reflect a vibration of that you are giving your attention to. From our founder, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Holmes, experience has taught us the subjective tendency of this intelligent law of creative force may be consciously directed and definitely used. This is the greatest discovery of all time. We have got the brilliant young Reverend Dr. David Goldberg in the house again, who is back to tell us about abundance and this ever-expanding universe and being focused. And I didn't bring his rap sheet. Everybody here knows and loves him. We all know that he's brilliant. So come on up, Dr. David, and tell us about what you've been reading.
Thank you, thank you. Well, good afternoon, beautiful people. So good to be with you. I love that you're speaking the work of the Season for Nonviolence into your space. It's important work. It's something that we as a denomination with Centers for Spiritual Living, as well as one of many under the umbrella of under progressive spirituality, continue to engage in and participate. And I just wanted to share with you that one of the leaders of that work, the executive director of the Association for Global New Thought, AGNT, Barbara Fields, recently made her transition. Barbara was an extraordinary being. She served as the executive director and program coordinator of the Parliament of the World's Religions, bringing together anybody who identified as a religion or a spiritual tradition to talk, to explore, to learn from each other. That was part of Barbara's work in the world, as was the Season for Nonviolence. She was one of the founders of the effort who said, how can we remember the work of two extraordinary beings, namely Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? And so Barbara was a part of that initial group who said, what if we honored both of their birthdays from January 30th to April 4th, and we did some important work in between them. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if you would be kind enough to keep Barbara in your prayer work and your meditation, we just honor and bless this delightful light being as she enters into her next great expression. And we're so grateful that the light that she brought to the planet. Just a couple other things I wanted to share with you before we dive into the art of abundance. It's a joy to be with you talking about Dennis and his work. Rick and I consider Dennis Merritt Jones a friend. He was kind enough to have us over his home. One of the last times we were in St. Pete Beach, Florida. I had a lovely meal with he and his wife Diane and his Labradoodle Mac, who is the second greatest dog on the planet, second only to our little Terry, and took us out on his boat. He had a boat dock right off of his backyard, and we spent a lovely day on the water with Dennis. When I posted the picture from last week with Michelle Madrano on Facebook, Dennis chimed in and he said, "David, so glad that you're jumping into the art of abundance again. If there's anything that I can do to support you or the congregation or the community, please let me know." So know that invitation stands. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, you may be aware that Science of Mind magazine is now published in double issues. So this is the March issue, and this is the April issue. They took a page out of the Unity magazine playbook to cut down on production and postage and so forth. And as I shared with you the last time I was here, I'm honored to have written the daily guides for the April issue. So if you'd like to spend every day with me during the month of April, you can get it online. There are a few Barnes & Nobles who still carry the hard copy, but I'm honored to be back in the pages of Science of Mind magazine. And one of the conversations we were having, P.S. to your search for volunteers, you need to know how extraordinary Ken and Travis are as part of your support team. So thank you both. We were having a conversation beforehand, and I said when I was asked to do the daily guides way back at the end of next year, I said, I would be honored in learning the parameters and the deadlines and so forth. And I started looking at the calendar for April to learn that that Easter falls on 4/20. And a number of my Unity colleagues were saying, "Oh, good. That will give us a great opportunity to redefine our burning bowl ceremony." Alas, I wasn't brave enough to do anything with that. So when you look at 4/20 and the daily guides, you get Easter. A little bit of a traditionalist in that regard. The other thing that I mention as part of the introduction for those daily guides is on May 3rd, I'm going to be hosting a workshop at Unity Worldwide Headquarters. They have a beautiful new labyrinth there, and as a certified labyrinth facilitator, I'm honored to help them with this effort. And the workshop is using the labyrinth as a tool for spiritual activism. A number of folks have expressed concern around, in the times that we're in, what can I do? What is mine to do? And a number of people are finding their way, and this is just encouragement to use the labyrinth as a part of your spiritual practice and your spiritual exercise. If you find yourself in Lee's Summit, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City, on May 3rd, World Labyrinth Day, the workshop is free and open to the public. There's more information on the Unity website at unity.org. I also put a couple of calendars with regard to a few of my speaking engagements, and then on the back, there's information about walks at Unity Village as a part of World Labyrinth Day. The other thing that I would encourage you to consider is every year on World Labyrinth Day, the first Saturday in May, on May 3rd, the opportunity is to walk as one at one. So wherever you are in the world, the invitation is find a labyrinth, walk a labyrinth at 1 p.m. local time, right? So you don't have to remember anything, you don't have to change your clocks. Walk as one at one for a tidal wave, a tsunami of peaceful intention flowing across the globe. That's the invitation that we all get to be a part of. So, that is what's percolating a little bit for us. We are so happy to be back with you. And speaking of Easter, speaking of 420, I'm honored. Thank you again to your practitioner core and your leadership council. I'm honored to be facilitating your Easter Sunday service. So as your schedules permit, please join us, burning bowl or not. So we promise some fun. I was speaking with Travis a little bit already this morning, and he's like, oh, and Ken was saying, oh, I didn't know that. So it may not be your most traditional Easter service, and hopefully everyone will learn with a deepening and perhaps a smile on your face. So please, as your schedules permit. So today we continue with the art of abundance. And again, I'm so pleased and happy to be working with Dennis's book. When I was the publisher and editor of Science of Mind magazine, the publisher part meant that I also worked with 3 of the book imprints or 3 of the publishing arms of Centers for Spiritual Living. So immediately after this book, Dennis published his next book with us. So I'm proud to be his friend and his publisher. And on this day, we're talking about abundance. And per Russell's excellent notes and suggestion, we're working with a couple of different thoughts today based on the chapters in this book. We're talking about consciousness and we're talking about focus. Wait, focus? Oh, hello. Somebody's in the parking lot. Oh, look, it's a rabbit. I don't know about you, but sometimes I get to focus on my focus, right? So we're gonna talk about some of those things. So the first one up is be aware you live in an expanded universe. One of the things that I continue to reinforce for myself is the only limitation I have is the limitation that I put on myself. And one of the things that I continue to work with, just from a human perspective, from a verbiage, from a speaking, from a reading perspective, is the word but. Not the part of the anatomy, it's the one with one T, right? So when I say but, it's the big eraser word. It negates everything I said before it, and the emphasis lands on whatever follows. Well, I would have loved to be a professional athlete, but I'm not big enough or strong enough. Guess what we're putting into the universe? I'm not big enough or strong enough. I would have loved to have been a better parent, but I didn't have the job and I didn't have a spouse to help me. What is the universe reinforcing? I don't have a job and I don't have a spouse. So I invite you into your thinking, into your own wordsmithing, into your meditation, to be with your relationship with that one little word, but. And I invite you to set the intention of not using it this coming week. What if this week is but free? So you get to say, I mean, there are times when you need it, right? There are times when you need it, but no. There are times when you need it and. Yeah? Try it. Be with that. Make that one small shift in your consciousness and report back to Russell next week. See what happens. I love our founder, of course. I love Ernest. I love that he had so many honorary doctorates from so many universities that continues to be a huge exhibit as a part of the Science of Mind archives. Ernest himself was not necessarily an academic. He did not earn any doctorate degrees, and yet we still refer to him as Dr. Holmes as a part of that honoring of an individual who is so important to us. All of that being said, I love this quote. I love the quote that you found and shared as well, Russell. There is no limit to the good that is available to us except the limit we place upon it. He also shared the universe is a reflection of our beliefs, our thoughts, and attitudes. The more we align ourselves with the idea of abundance, the more we naturally experience it. Many of you have probably seen the same stuff on social media or in your reading and in your research and in your prayer work that I have. You are living the life now that you prayed about so many years ago. May not be perfect, may not be exactly what you want, may not be exactly what you pictured. And my sense is at some point you prayed to be a part of a loving spiritual community. You prayed to be able to have the freedom and flexibility to do what you want with your days, right? Again, it looks different. And it's still more than okay to want a different kind of perfect tomorrow. And be with that as well. In that place of gratitude, in that place of abundance, you are living the life that you prayed for. Congratulations. You are an excellent manifester. You know this teaching. You've got it. You're treating and moving your feet. You're praying and you're taking action. Nicely done. If you don't hear it again today or this week, you are extraordinary. Good work. I also, as you know, I am licensed not only in Centers for Spiritual Living and Religious Science, but also in Unity. And I love the work of Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. First, at the risk of sounding patronizing, I appreciate that Unity honors Myrtle as being equal to Charles as being a founder of the tradition. And she actually found it first. Unity rabbit hole, right? Focus, David, focus. But this is important. Myrtle found the teaching first. Then Charles came to it 2 or 3 years later through some of his own physical challenges. And at one point, during a time of war, during a time of challenge politically, nationally, not dissimilar to what some may consider what we have going on now, Charles and Myrtle were very concerned about the funding for the international unity movement. And they literally have their own village in Lee Summit, Missouri. They have their own city council, they have their own water treatment plant, they have their own 50-room conference hotel, they have their 9-hole golf course, it is truly Unity Village. And so the Fillmores were concerned, and rightfully so. Where's the money coming from? And one of the people who was working with them, earnestly put forward, I truly hope God is with us and our funding holds out. And Myrtle said, I hope that too. And more importantly, I hope our faith holds out. Different perspective, right? I hope our money holds out versus I hope our faith holds out. So that is the benefit of knowing that we live in an expanded universe. Dennis in the book also tells us when we truly understand that abundance is not something we create. Hear me, my friends. We're not calling it in. We're not asking for it. We're not begging for it. We're not beseeching to call this in. Abundance is not something we create, but something we allow. We begin to align ourselves with the flow of life itself. Now, I don't know where you're at in your process. That was a true shift for me. I love this teaching, and I can create parking places, and I can manifest the food I want at King Soopers. And what if it's not a matter of making anything? What if it's a matter of stepping back, taking a breath, and allowing our good, allowing that to unfold? Dennis goes on to say, abundance is already present, ready to flow into our lives. The key is recognizing it's not something we have to work for. It's something that we have to open to. Which reminds me of another thought of a friend locally who, in my humble opinion, coined the phrase, try softer. We all know about trying harder. And this fellow came up with trying softer. So what if, rather than pushing and thinking and organizing and stressing and praying and doing everything we need to do to get our way, what if we tried softer and we allowed our good to flow to us? I invite you into that shift. Another person that I've come to know and love, who I was certainly familiar with, and through my work with Unity have gotten much more familiar with her work, is Catherine Ponder, the Queen of Abundance, I lovingly call her. Another fascinating personal story. And Catherine offers, as you become more aware of your abundant universe, you will discover that the more you give, the more you receive. The more you bless, the more you are blessed. As Michelle Medrano covered last week, if you want more of something, do it. If you want more money, give more money. If you want more love, give more love. If you want more friends, be a better friend. You're demonstrating to the universe what you are calling in, right? And once again, you've heard me say this more than once, the universe is an objective medium. So for the gardeners in the crowd, if you're jonesing to get out into the soil with our 60 and 70 degree days, if you plant petunias and tulips, you're not going to get kumquats and rutabagas. Whatever you plant, you're going to receive. So if you want more prosperity and abundance, offer more to this extraordinary, beloved community. Connect with the folks at Habitat. Do what speaks to your heart. So the practical application then, because we're all about treating and moving your feet, we're all about talking about it and then putting it into action, I invite you to consider, to begin noticing the many forms of abundance in your life. The air that you breathe. You're never going to run out of air. The love that you share, the opportunities that appear and continue to appear in front of you. The first step in embracing abundance is to acknowledge that it's already here. You are living a prosperous and abundant life. You are doing extraordinarily well, perhaps by anybody's measure, except your own. So be gentle with yourself and see what that might look like and feel like for you. So the second chapter that dear Russell and the practitioner core asked me to address is being focused. What we know is while the universe contains infinite possibilities, we must remain focused on what we truly desire in order to manifest the abundance that we seek. Dennis reminds us that while the universe is abundant, we must stay focused. Focus is the bridge between the infinite potential of the universe and the realization of that potential in our lives. Again, from Ernest, we must learn to focus our thought, and thought is the mental discipline we draw from the invisible world, those things which are necessary for us to live a fuller life. He continues, focus helps us to channel the energy of the universe toward our highest good. I love how a friend and colleague is putting this into work. She recently retired, most recently, from a very high-powered job at Amazon, working remotely from her beautiful home in the mountains, traveling the world. I would say at her leisure. She would say she had bosses and other stakeholders. She decided when she wanted to go to Paris. She decided when she wanted to go to Rome. She decided when she wanted to go to Italy when it worked for her in conjunction with her 2-week yoga retreat that she was hosting with her mother. And she retired from that position. And she's still young enough to do it, to do whatever she wants. And she's getting married. And I'm doing her wedding shortly. And she's getting all kinds of invitations. We had lunch this past week, and she has 3 ideas about things that she wants to do. One is in the realm of emotional intelligence in the corporate world, which is some of the work that she has been doing. The second one is in the realm of medical equipment and supporting those of us of a certain age who may be needing some of that sooner rather than later, either out of choice or necessity. And the third one is just an idea that is so wild and so out there that it just might come true. And as part of our conversation, she said, and a bunch of friends want me to start teaching yoga. And I really want to start teaching yoga. And I told them, give me a year. How is that for self-care, my friends? Give me a year. We may not all have that luxury. What if you have the luxury of, give me a moment. Give me an hour. You know, I love this beloved community. I love you with all my heart, Dr. David. And I need to spend time outside this afternoon. Right? You are responsible for taking care of you. That needs to be your focus. That's what I invite you into. Dennis tells us, focus is not about narrowing your options. It's about narrowing your attention to what is truly important, right? When we stay focused on what we want, our dreams, our visions, our highest purpose, we create the space for those things to manifest. And again, from Catherine Ponder, it is not enough to simply wish for abundance. We must also align our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our desires. You know, one of the other great joys of my life, in addition to speaking and spending time with you all, I love helping people one-to-one, which is where your practitioners absolutely shine. And I include that as part of an important part of my work. In my counseling and coaching, I'm working with a 30-something in another state who is at the top of his game, extraordinary, generating income, employing so many people, and he recently came up with an idea that is going to revolutionize his industry. So we were talking about this, and his goal is he wants to retire by the time he's 40, probably sooner. And his goal is to have this idea into production by the end of the year. And, you know, he's looking at the income that this would generate. And I said, you know, if that comes true, I might have to quadruple your rate. And he said to me, why don't I just write you a check for $250,000 and we'll call it good? And I said, what if you write me a check for $1 million a month for a retainer, and then we'll see where that takes us, right? The only limitations I have are the limitations I put on myself. When I started off as a practitioner, and I know many of you have been in that role, practitioner session, it was a suggested love offering for an hour with a practitioner was $45. This guy wants to, or I would encourage this fellow to pay me $1 million a month. I'm good with that. And I have to think the one power, the one presence that I call God is good with that, because money is God in action, right? And when I put myself first, I'm putting God first. So, where are you placing those limits on yourself? Where are you putting those stop signs to your own good? I invite you to look at them, to take a step back, and simply ask the question, what else might be true? What are the other possibilities here? What are the other options here? You know, the other thing that I would invite you into, we're talking about prosperity, we're talking about abundance. And my friends, we know this, and I need to speak it into the space. It's so much more than money. It is health, it is friendship, it is connection, it is community, it is being heard, it is being able to say what I need, it is being able to express my anger, it's taking my dog out for a walk and he's having a great time and I run into a bush and that's a little redness in my eye, so thank you for asking. And it's good and it's fine and it doesn't hurt and I'm healthy. And I wanted to also share the story of my beloved. Rick said, I want to do something that just brings me joy. Because being a serial entrepreneur, he's like, oh, those are awesome brownies. And who made those? We can package those and sell those, and those are going to be awesome. That's just the way his head works, right? He's always thinking about that for himself, for all of his clients, and for so many. And he said, David, I want to do something that just brings me joy. I want to do something where I'm not thinking about money. So you started painting a month ago, 2 months ago? Never painted before, took a watercolor class. Now he's there every Wednesday afternoon painting for his own joy. And I think it's all extraordinary. And, he's trying to fix stuff. I'm like, I didn't know you could fix a watercolor, but okay. So what are you doing for your own joy? What are you doing that makes your heart happy? What are you doing that makes you sing? What are you doing where you can whistle where you were told you're not supposed to whistle? Huh? So I invite you into that work. So we know that it is about prosperity and abundance. We know that we are already there. We know that it is from a place of allowing, to simply allow our good in and releasing those blocks. One other practice that I would invite you into this week. Some of us, perhaps many of us, believe in the soul journey. We believe in reincarnation. We believe that our soul has been here before. We believe that when we release our biodegradable flesh suit, that our soul will have another incarnation and will come back for more of our soul journey. What I would invite you into, if you're feeling any blocks anywhere along that journey of prosperity and abundance, is to create a little prayer for yourself. Create a ritual if you so desire. To release any past vows of poverty that your soul may have taken anywhere on your journey. Maybe you were in religious community. Maybe you were a noble person. Maybe you died of plague in the streets. At some point, if your soul ever took a vow of poverty, I invite you into that place of blessing it, honoring it, and releasing it, because it's not who you are, and it's not what you're calling in. Prosperity and abundance. Congratulations on being prosperous. Congratulations on your extraordinarily abundant life. Please join me in prayer. So as we continue to explore these amazing God principles of prosperity, of abundance, of calling in the good in our human experience, what I know to be true is that each and every being is one with the abundant universe. What I know to be true is that each and every being is open and receptive to all good things. I trust that abundance is the birthright of all, and I choose to align with the infinite flow of prosperity, peace, and possibility. I give thanks on this day for the infinite abundance that surrounds us. I recognize that all good is already ours, and we open ourselves to receive it. I know that the universe is constantly expanding, that we are in and a part of that flow. Today, we choose to stay focused on our highest good, to trust in the process of life and align our thoughts with abundance. I know we continue to bless this world with our gifts, and I know that the more I give, the more I receive. I am grateful for this truth, and I trust in its power. I release, I let go, I simply allow it to be. We anchor these truths by saying, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feel like I'm walking on marbles. Can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound. Everybody say something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever did before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live inside these blues. Oh Lord, oh Lord, I surrender myself, my life to you. Oh Lord, I give my life, I give my love to you. Love is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Compassion's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. My faith is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Peace is calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Yeah, God is calling me, and and I'm grateful like I've never been before.